Friends, welcome back. All right, so felt a little bit more organic that time, so I think we're gonna stick with that kind of welcome. We'll see. We're still trying on different things. All right, so this is part 2 of our Manhattan episode. And obviously, we had part 1 the other day. Talked about the Manhattan. It's a whiskey martini, basically. 2 parts of bourbon or rye to 1 part of sweet vermouth. Today, we're making the perfect Manhattan. And I'll tell you right now, that is my preferred Manhattan. That's the one I go out, and it doesn't matter where we're going. If I'm going to fancy high-end spot, if I'm going to one of these, casual dining, bonefish grill type establishments, I'm usually going to order a perfect martini. And the way I usually do that is because I don't want to question anybody's level of expertise or comfort, but since I don't know who's on the other side of the bar, I always say, I want to get a Manhattan, but is there any way I can do that with equal parts of sweet and dry vermouth? And if you know, they'll usually reply, it's like, oh, you mean perfect? I was like, yeah, absolutely, that's exactly what I mean. But like I said, I feel that's the safer way to go. I think I said it on one of my other episodes where I've ordered, can I get a perfect Manhattan or can I get a perfect martini? And they're like, oh, I'll make it perfect for you, all right. And then it's anything but. It's it's a solid drink, but at the same time, it's not perfect. When I did my my primer on what are the different levels, I think I mentioned it then, and I know when I did the perfect martini episode, I talked about it then. So if you guys haven't seen those, check out the YouTube channel, go back, check out the different episodes because they're all there. But basically, perfect means equal parts of sweet and dry vermouth. It's in perfect balance. It's what it's supposed to specify. And it's not something now. I see it more often, I'll go to a bar and if I order, like for example, if I order a perfect martini, if the bartender knows what perfect is, more often than not, they'll be like, well, I've never had someone order a perfect martini before. Like I said, perfect is just something where it's the specs, right? It's basically saying whatever the ratio is supposed to be, split it in half and make it both sweet and dry. Here we're going to be going, again, it's going to be your standard Manhattan recipe. We're going to be doing 2 parts of, we're using rye today, but it could be bourbon or rye, to a half part of dry vermouth to a half part of sweet vermouth. And then today, just because this is my preferred version, I'm going to hit that up with a good, probably about 5 or 6 hits of bitters. We'll see as I'm doing it. And I encourage you guys, try it, taste the bitters by itself. You're not going to enjoy that, but at least you'll have an idea of what it is. And then make your next cocktail and double the bitters, triple the bitters, and see what happens. And you'll see, it's like, you'll find that perfect balance of like, ooh, I like this. This is exactly where I want to be. I feel 6 is a good rounded flavor, and I'll describe it compared to the other day's traditional Manhattan. I used to go to this spot. They recently reopened. I want to say recently being like 2 years ago. Fox's Lounge down in Miami, and it was a spot. Let me tell you, that was something back in the day. I haven't been since they've reopened, but back in the day, it was a dive. It was an experience. You would walk in and it was dimly lit. You had no idea what you were drinking or eating. Had a great jukebox, and there was a character of a server, Nestor, who was just spot on. He was amazing, and he was actually the one who introduced me to the perfect Manhattan. I ordered a Manhattan one time, and this was probably my second time ordering the Manhattan. My first, like I said, was that I think I've shared the story. I know I've shared the story before. Dismal failure of an experience where just the guy, basically told me, you're not going to like it, ordered it, didn't kind of shove me in any sort of way. This time I get there, I order the Manhattan, and immediately, before I even said anything, he kind of looks me in the eye and he's like, how do you want it? I was like, I don't know. And he's like, do you want it perfect? And I kind of looked at him and he's like, you want it perfect. And sure enough, it came out, and it changed my life. It was a religious experience. It has a really clean flavor. It's the same thing I say about the martini. It gives you, it gives you just enough sweet, but at the same time, the dryness kind of balances it out. It's in perfect balance, hence the name. And then years later, I was at a different restaurant that had a great bar. It doesn't exist anymore. And the bartender, he was the one who told me, he's like, ask for more bitters. And I'm like, again, mind blown, like religious experience. And like I said, this is something where you guys, you're the customer, right? Be it at the home bar, be it at the bar, wherever you guys are, ask for what you want, and be aware of your surroundings though, right? So if you get to a place and you see, you're 3 deep, don't try, number one, don't order a martini, right? Just respect their time, go for something simpler, but even then, don't mess with the specs, It's a slow, it's not necessarily, it's busy, but not too crazy. Ask for it and say, hey, would you mind 3 hits of bitters, 4 hits of bitters, whatever it is that you like, but go ahead and explore that, explore that at home, explore it little by little, double up the bitters, triple the bitters, little by little. Don't just walk into the bar the first time and be like, oh, give me 6 hits of bitters, because you might not like it. So, it's not for everybody. And that's the whole point. This is supposed to be about you. This is your experience of self-discovery and who you are, what this cocktail says about you. I mean, you can waste all your time on BuzzFeed. I don't know if BuzzFeed still does all these cocktails, what cocktail, or not cocktail, these quizzes of, what cocktail describes you as a person or what it means about you. No. The only way you're going to know who you are is by making these or ordering them out and deciding, hey, I don't like this. This is not, I'm not a rum drinker. I'm not a tequila drinker, whatever it may be. You'll find out who you are as a person based on this. And then it's a good skill. At the end of the day, it's like when you go out and, you're with a group of people, knowing what it is that you're ordering, knowing what it is that, you're drinking, it makes a difference. And I highly recommend it. So, all right, enough yammering on about that. I'm going to go ahead and build the cocktail. As always, we want to start off by chilling the glass. I've said it before, I don't have a dedicated freezer where I could have these sitting in the freezer all the time just waiting for me to make drinks, but I feel that a scoop of ice and a little bit of water actually does the trick. I usually say it at the end, but I'll go ahead and say it now. Like and subscribe. All right, so we're gonna go 1 part Sweet Vermouth. And then, actually, this was a trick that I do when I'm making cocktails for myself. And for whatever reason, I have not been doing it for the channel. So I kind of wanted to point this out. When I'm making a drink, I always pour the ingredients with the syrupy or sweeter alcohol first. And the whole point is that every time I pour something in, it's going to basically, the next liquor is going to clean out the jigger for me. You just have to wash it at the end, but at least you're not going to have that sticky residue. So for example, if I'm making a Negroni, right? I'm making my Negroni, I'm going to make it with Campari first, which is going to be the sweetest of the, the stickiest of the liquors, then the Sweet Vermouth, and then the gin at the end, and that jigger's ready to go. I'm going to rinse it, I'm going to clean it out, but if I'm making another drink, I don't have to give them like a heavy scrub before I can, pour something else without getting it tainted with the Campari. So, like I said before, 1 part of the Desalins Sweet Vermouth. Now we're going 1 part of Dry Vermouth. And now, because it's supposed to be a half measure, 2 parts, we're going to be doing 1 measure, 4 measures. And this is Brookside. It's a rye. I should really like it. It's a good solid rye. Total Wine did not lead me astray. All right, so 4 parts. Ready to go. And then, like I said before, we're doing, let me get these out of the way for this. We're doing 6 hits of bitters. So here we go. I'm gonna go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna stir vigorously. I'm excited because this is actually my first Manhattan, probably since I started the channel. A while ago I had a batch of these in the freezer, and I don't know what I did wrong. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Something happened that I think I overdid it with the bitters, to be honest, but it was something it was intense. So I had gotten kind of away from the Manhattans. Oh, that's good. Looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Actually, this time I'm going to go in reverse. Cherry in first. Since I doubled the cocktail, I actually have some for later, which is always fun. All right, you guys can't, I'm gonna walk up to the camera. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I see. But one of the nice effects of dropping the cherry in first when you pour it is when you pour the alcohol over it, you get a nice little effect. Yeah, I don't think you can see it, but there's a little bit of the syrup kind of dispersing throughout the beverage, which kind of gives it a really nice, it's a pretty look, but it also gives it, I don't know, like a nice flavor. One more layer to the cocktail. So, all right, as always, let me go ahead and taste this, and then I'm going to tell you what's going on. Oh, that's good. All right, so right off the bat, the last Manhattan, I should have made 2 batches. I should have made a regular classic and a perfect one, so I could kind of, you know, sip and compare and contrast the 2 of them. But then I would have gotten accused of starting the channel just so I can drink multiple drinks in, you know, at once. But this is amazing. Soft at the beginning, just like the other Manhattan. Cleaner finish. And then this one's got a little bit more of the warmth of the spice that I said from before, both from the rye, but also from the extra bitters, right? So it gave it a little layer of complexity. Not as sweet, right? That first Manhattan, you know, and I said it before, you know, we had the Martinez on one end of the spectrum that was incredibly sweet, the regular Manhattan, and then here on the other side, we're gonna have the perfect Manhattan. That perfect Manhattan is cleaner, less sweet, but still has just a little subtlety to it. Yeah, this is amazing. This is really good. I enjoy this. I used to get myself into trouble drinking these, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, no. It's one of these where it's like, still spirit forward. And I will tell you, I feel that between the perfect Manhattan and the classic Manhattan, this is definitely gonna be more on that spirit forward. The classic Manhattan's a little bit more subtle. You definitely, I would say that one's probably going to sneak up a little bit more on you. Well, I feel like this one definitely tastes more alcoholic. Definitely when you add the 6 hits of bitters as opposed to just the 1 dash it's supposed to take. But this is good. Like I said, it's got layers. You got the sweetness. You got a hint. Barely there if you're not paying attention to it. Yeah, if you're not paying attention to it, you're gonna miss it. But there's a barely there hint of the cherry flavor, which is coming from that syrup that dissipated when I poured the cocktail over the cherry. You got the bitters, you got the warmth from the rye, and then you've got both the sweet and dry playing together. That gives you that clean finish. So this is amazing. I'm very happy with this. Guys, like and subscribe. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am. This was a short one just because I already covered most of this on the last episode, so I kind of wanted to share a little bit about Fox's Lounge. If you guys go to Fox's Lounge and you've checked it out, by all means, let me know. I haven't been able to go. I tried to go once right when they first opened up, and there was just a groundswell of people trying to get in, so we were unable to go. I'm not local, so it makes it difficult for me to go to these spots spontaneously. But again, if you guys have checked it out, let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is it worth it? Is it still as good as it used to be? If you had a Manhattan there, let me know if it was good. If you have Manhattan anywhere, actually, let me know if they're any good. There was I'm not even going to get into it. I was going to say there's a random spot I know it doesn't exist anymore, but there was a place that I had an Asian Manhattan that had instead of vermouth, it was a plum wine that I may have to make up my own specs for and kind of play around with now that I'm thinking about it out loud. But that's going to come later on. Right now, we're trudging along through this curriculum of cocktails, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are too. Like and subscribe, like I said before. Thanks everyone for your support, and everyone have a great night.